Hi everyone, I'm Matthew Moniz, and this is the HP Spectre x360. This is a 2-in-1 convertible. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with convertibles, basically what this means is you can flip the screen 360 degrees. The benefit of that is you can put your laptop in different positions. For one, there's like a tablet mode, which rests flat on your desk. There is regular laptop mode that you're used to, and there's also another one called tent mode, which allows you to get better media consumption from it. Now, this is the 15-inch model. I've been using it for quite some time. This is probably the third 2-in-1 convertible that I've reviewed this year, and so far I've been pretty impressed. I really like the design of the X360. It's nothing fancy, but it's clean, metal, and looks premium. There's only an HP logo on the front lid, a Spectre logo on the smooth round hinge, and 4 rubber feet to prevent the laptop from sliding. I've reviewed a few convertibles this year, and the one that I compare it to the most is the Dell Inspiron 15-7000. The major difference is that the X360 is slightly smaller and weighs less at 4 pounds. In terms of ports, on the left you have a power connector, one USB 3.0 port, audio jack, power on and off button, and a full-size SD card slot. On the right side you have an HDMI port, mini display port, 2 more USB 3.0 ports, one USB 3.0 Type-C port, and your volume controls. The model I'm reviewing is one of the entry-level models. It comes with a 6th generation Intel Core i5-6200U processor, uses Intel's HD 520 graphics, has a 15.6-inch Full HD WLED backlit IPS touch display, 8 GB of memory, and a 256 GB SSD storage drive. This model retails for $1,150 US or $1,700 Canadian. Now, if you need more power, you can spec it with an i7 and 16 GB of RAM, and you also have the option of buying it with a 4K display. The 15-inch touch display on the Spectre is quite nice. It produces nice whites, deep colors, and it's fairly accurate. I did find the display to have poor brightness. I found that 90 to 100% was the most optimal setting. However, comparing the screen to the Inspiron 15, I did find it to be a bit brighter. Viewing angles were also spectacular without any color shifting. Touch functionality was good with both pinch to zoom and multi-touch working accordingly. Now, one thing I did notice though is that the screen is very wobbly. Simply typing on the keyboard or applying pressure on the trackpad shakes the screen. Above the display is a 1080p webcam. It takes decent images, the color tones are a little off, and I found it to be a bit noisy, but for the most part it will be fine for video conferencing. The keyboard blends in well with the design. It's not a full-size keyboard with a numeric keypad, but all the keys are well spaced and in the right places. I did find the keys to be a tad mushy. The travel distance is only 1.4 millimeters, which is slightly less than I prefer, but still it manages to feel comfortable to type on. Now, there's only one level of backlighting, but there's very little keyboard flex, which is always great in my books. Now, just below the keyboard is a glass trackpad the size of a football field. This thing is absolutely huge. Your fingers will not feel cramped. It's fantastic for multi-gestures, pinch to zoom, and scrolling. Now, I did find the accuracy to be a little off compared to other trackpads, like the one on the Dell XPS 13 and 15. The audio is probably the one area where the X360 Spectre stands out compared to its competition. There's quad Bang & Olufsen speakers with one big one on each side of the keyboard and 2 speakers on the bottom. The sound quality is fantastic, it gets loud, the highs are nice, and I think if you're primarily buying this as a media consumption device, you'll be really happy with the audio. Now, there is one area it did fall a little short, and that was the bass, but you can open up the Bang & Olufsen sound profile and fine-tune the listening experience. Also, the cool thing about having quad speakers is if you have the laptop in tent mode or laptop mode, there's always speakers facing you. The X360 is a strong performer when it comes to productivity tasks and multimedia. I was able to keep open 10 to 12 Chrome tabs and play full HD video without any hiccups. Light photo editing runs fine, and any work inside of Microsoft Office or Google Docs is not a problem. At the end of the day, this is a multimedia and productivity machine first, so don't expect to play any newer games on it. For hard drive storage, you're getting a regular SSD, and it's a light on 8H, and you'll get decent read and write speeds. I was averaging about 350 megabytes per second for read speeds, and for write speeds I was getting about 250 megabytes. Unfortunately, there is no option to upgrade the hard drive to a PCIe SSD. Moving on to heat, and I always measure the keyboard area and the back of the laptop, and the good news is it never surpassed the temperature of 35 degrees Celsius. This means the laptop is capable of running full intensive applications and staying cool at the same time. Now earlier I said audio was one of the main reasons to buy this convertible over the competition. Well, battery life is definitely the other. With the Dell Inspiron 15 I was getting about 5 to 5.5 hours of battery life, but with the Spectre 15t I was averaging over 8. That's a 3-hour difference and a notable one in my books. Alright, so here are my closing thoughts, and let's start off with some of the things that I liked about the X360. First, it's definitely the design. It's clean, it's premium, it's made out of all metal, and it just looks fantastic. Second is the audio. Quad speakers on a convertible is very attractive, especially if you're going to be buying it for media consumption. It doesn't matter which position you put it in, you're always going to be able to have front-facing speakers. And finally, it's the battery life. Out of all the convertible tablets or convertible laptops that I reviewed this year, this one definitely has the best battery life. Now, for some of the things that I didn't like about the X360, and the first one and the major one in my opinion is the wobbly screen. Now, to a lot of you, it's probably small, but it's one of those little annoying things that will bother you over a long period of time. And the second thing, which is minor, is the touchpad. It could be a little bit better. So here's the bottom line. The Spectre X360, in my opinion, is definitely the best 15-inch 2-in-1 that you can buy right now. Now, if you want to save a few bucks and you don't care about that long battery life and the amazing audio, take a look at the Dell Inspiron 15 7000. It'll do the job. But if you want the best of the bunch, this is the one to take a look at right now. Now, this model also comes in 13 inches, but that also puts you in the same category as the Lenovo Yoga 900, which in my opinion is another good 2-in-1 convertible. So I want to know what you guys think of the HP Spectre X360 15t in the comments below. If you have one, let me know what you like and dislike about it. I want to thank everyone out there for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next video.